Hello everybody, welcome to the Olympus server. Morilibus here. And we did some sculpting, hopefully, if it all worked out well. See how it goes in the editing. But yeah, that concludes, I think, this whole half of the bowl, chasm, whatever, what have you. So basically from there all the way around, I think we should probably let down the water. I guess I haven't done that yet. I guess what I should do is add in some imperfections so it's not so circular. I guess that's what I have to do over here. And then we can let the water down. But I don't want it to all be water. I want it to be more like that, where it gets forked and stuff like that. And I tried creating a lump here. I don't know if I really like it. We'll have to see. And actually, I think we're going to let down the water soon. We just got to get this area down here prepped a little bit more. And, woo, my sounds are loud. Oh, I hate... Oh. With the new snapshots, every time you go into the snapshot, it resets everything. Okay. This is ready to be flooded. I want to try something with this lava. It's kind of something I've done in my single-player world underground, but I've done a very basic version of it. But what I want to try to do, for instance, is let the lava fall down here. Now, it should be okay. Like, it should just fall in behind there. Oh yeah, it might start melting some things, but that's okay too. I don't think that will be a problem. So let's just try letting it just fall from where it is. I think I've put ice where it needs to be. Now, it doesn't create cobble or smooth stone like all the time. Like, it depends kind of... Now, that's very interesting. You see how you can't even see the lava through there? Okay, there we've got a cobble going. So certain places it is like doing a cobblestone generator. But otherwise, it seems to be okay. So that should come down there and just fall in that hole. Alright, so now when we let go of this water, let's just make sure there's something everywhere. What if I do that? And then this cobblestone. Let's see, is there anything that could be done there? What is happening? Not really. Okay, it's flowing in and the lava's flowing in too. Okay, that's just gonna have to remain, I guess, unfortunately. I might be able to fudge it if I figure out what exactly is going on. Okay, so it is gonna melt ice. But now if I... Oh, oops. Super pick away. Oh, it is making cobble there. That's unfortunate. What if I get the water in there? Is it still... Oh, it is. So this isn't working. Oh, not as well as I would hope it to have. Where did I just break that ice? It's so hard to tell. Right there? I think so. It's kind of working, kind of not. Like here you can see lava's interfering or interacting with the lava, but not forming anything. And there, I don't know if that was trying to make smooth stone. This is hard to see what's happening. Alright, I just want to complete this here. So let's get that all infinite. And I guess I could just get rid of all this too. You can do it. Okay. Guess I didn't have to put the ice over there after all if I just took that away. No big deal. It's all good. Okay, something going on here. Don't know, do I have a bucket on me? Oh, I do. Could use that instead. Oh, there, I punched a hole somewhere. No idea where. Oh, right here. Oh, that looked cool for a second there. Okay, some of the lava's doing what I wanted. Maybe I didn't plan it all that well. So... is that gonna do it? Okay, so yeah, certain spots it's working, other spots it's not working at all. Like we're getting cobblestone generator there, and that's because of that bedrock, because that lava's pouring in here. So I think what I'd have to do is make sure there's no bedrock in the areas to force the lava to come forwards. So if it's just going straight down like it is right here, you can see you get the nice, basically lava and water side by side with no stone or cobblestone generation occurring. But places like anywhere it's bulging out, I guess, like right here and here, we're going to get cobblestone generator. So we don't want that. So what I'll probably do is cut off the lava. Oh, there's a giant hole here. Abort! Abort! I didn't finish, apparently. But we can kind of get an idea of what that looks like, I guess. And see if it's something we like. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to barricade this water, but without getting too close to the lava. Okay, maybe we can just fill that in. We'll be done. Oh! Is this the right height? Yeah. Alright, while we're doing this, what could I say? There's a few things. Oh, we played some Seth's building game. Unfortunately, I mucked up and didn't record anybody's audio about my own, so there's nobody's voices. So I won't be uploading my footage. But Coco has, I think, already uploaded one out of the 2 games we played. And I don't know when he's going to be uploading the next one. Running, I think, will be uploading the footage as well. Fancy, I think, accidentally deleted his footage, so he won't be uploading his. So we both kind of boo-booed. Oops. Stay. And I can't remember who else was there. There's a couple of Fancy's friends that were there. And I don't remember if both of them recorded or just one of them did, or if neither. But anyway. Here there was, yeah, stone there I wanted to replace. And you. Good. Stone right here. Oops. Whoa, stone way back there too. Okay, none of this is really done all that well. Yoink and yoink. Oh, that was all the light that was here. Okay. Can we get a look at this? And is that anything desirable? Let's get higher up. I kind of made this dirt pillar to try to ender pearl up, because once you're down here, it's incredibly hard to get back up. And I'm basically just, it's an exaggerated spiral staircase almost. And I think I'm on the only one on right now. Kind of working on this all evening, on and off. But then also had to take a break because my head was killing me. Okay, from up here you can't really tell too much, but I don't like the cobblestone that I can see. So I will play with that. Let's now... I think that's okay. I'm going to... Let's get rid of the wall of sand. And let's let down the water. Let's also make it daytime. You can do it. This was my perch this time around. I went just to the corner, and then I let go of shift, and then I lined it up. This time I put that torch in the top left corner. I know you guys mentioned you can just focus your cursor on a block, but that gets tricky when if I'm looking at something like here that's about to get destroyed. If my cursor's on the block and then that block is gone, I no longer have anything to focus on. There's also 2 skelly spawners, which I kind of forgot about, and I didn't think they were actually in range of each other. Oh, I missed. That's one of them in there. And then the other one is, I believe, that open rock right there. I don't think I can get up there, though. But in there... Oh, I did it. I did it. Yeah. In here... Oh, my particles are off. I was doing that for the screenshots, so you don't get the effect of... Where is that particles? You don't get the swirlies. So that wasn't in the shots. So yeah, there's this guy and there's that guy, and they're definitely in range of each other. Now, I don't know if we'll do anything with them. We might. I think it might be a challenge to try to do something. We'd have to have some kind of structure built out here to house that guy. So that might be fun, trying to come up with something for that. And... Oh, I don't want to be down here. Okay, let's get back out of the hole. That looks a little bit messy. I think that was the original TNT blasting. So I might clean that up a bit. We'll see once I let the water out. You probably won't even be able to tell. Up. Oh, that was a bad one. Okay. All right. Let's do it. How should we go about it? Now I can either just let the top go and let the water go over top, and then I remove the sand. Then we're just going to have a sheer wall of water. We'll try that. The other thing I was going to try to do, which would be a little bit more difficult. What are you? Can I get on you? Or am I going to go over top? Nope. Nice. Good. Let's go like that and get rid of that. Yeah, what I was tempted to try to do is get the water to sink down. So it's not like it comes to this and then just drops straight down, which is kind of funny. Well, for some reason that was really funny to me. So, instead of doing that, I would try to remove the source blocks basically in some kind of curved area in here. And then the tricky part would be at the very bottom, I'd have to make sure there is like an air block so that infinite water doesn't just, because otherwise this will just recreate itself if I try to like get rid of source blocks like out there as soon as they're gone. It just makes itself back now. So it's a little harder to do with the new water mechanics. But I think if I went and I did like under here, wherever I do it, I get rid of one more block of whatever underneath so that there's no water source blocks at the very bottom, and then it won't be able to create a water source block above that, and then above that, above that, above that, all the way up to here. So then I should be able to create a sloping effect with the water. Oh, or there might be another way of doing it, like a reverse way with like decaying water. But again, I'd have to make sure there's not a way for it to just bring itself back. But for now, I think we're just going to have it reach the edge and just go straight down like that. And then I'll curve the edges, I think. So let me, I don't know if it's worth keeping you here for, so let's get rid of it, and I'll meet you back over there. I can't stop hitting a key, because I'll just get pushed over the edge. Okay, there we go. Okay, what do we got? I kind of like what that did there, and kind of there, and there. Kind of goes over top. Now these are going to be the largest, I think. Well, at least on this side. But that's okay. Should we? How can we get a different view? Well, obviously, if I'm going to a different location, how can we get a better view? How about that? And I threw some torches because there's a creeper that tried to get me. So that's not too bad. I like the layering effect it kind of does. It gives, instead of just a sheer water cliff, it adds some variety. And then it would be cooler if something else was maybe sticking out there to break up the water even more, kind of like the chain does. But I think that will do. Let's see, we could go up. What else was I going to work on today? I think I wanted to look at the map. I'll show you the maps real quick. So I did some more exploring. Let's see, ender pearls, running out of ender pearls down here. Yeah, let's go up top. So there's still some work I'll have to do down there, but I will wait and do that after. Let's head on up. I'm gonna do, yeah, let's see what we can get done today. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, we're good. Okay, so I already showed you that one. Let's just get rid of some things. Let's get rid of ice. Let's get rid of sand. Let's get rid of all the things. Oh, so for an experiment, I went through 2 picks and then looks like about a third or a half, almost a half. So I went through 2.5 picks, let's say, chiseling out that cliffside. And I got 7 diamonds out of it. So that's pretty good. That's basically 9 diamonds worth, or not even. Technically, it would be, what, 7.5 diamonds? And those are ores, so fortuning it, I should get, well, I'll get a minimum of 7, but would probably get more like 14 or thereabouts, so that's pretty good. That's in terms of the diamonds, the work paying itself off, I guess. So by chiseling that out, we got more diamonds than it took us to chisel it out. So yeah, from up here you can kind of get a different perspective. We have to figure out lighting though. I don't want to have torches on the rocks. But I don't know what else we could do. I mean, we could slab it, but yeah, it'd have to be like these slabs or cobble slabs or stone slabs. I wish stone slabs actually looked like stone instead of getting their nice polished look, although that is a nice block. It would be nice to have a slab of just stone. Alright. Okay, maps. I learned something about maps. Oh! Alright. I did 2 more of the large ones. So this actually covers a decent width of the whole continent. I think I worked it out that we'd need another map here, I think, and then 2 more this way. So it'd probably be about 6 by 6, I think, but that's only because there's like one structure out here somewhere. Really, we could just go up from where my base is. And also, just beyond this map border is pretty much new chunks. Going straight down and straight to the west. So once 1.7 comes around, this is probably the closest area to the main continent, I believe, that doesn't have random like boat journeys cutting through it. Because there's pretty much boat transit going that way, I think going up and over. There's a bunch going down, but there's nothing from like this way and down, so this might be a good place in terms of proximity to our main island where we may want to explore. And yeah, there'll just be the border, the harsh border. But we'll see. I'm going to try, we'll have to coordinate with other members on Olympus, see if we actually do want to map out the whole continent. It is a lot of work. The water makes it a lot easier for sure. The land can be cumbersome, especially jungles, so I think what we'll try to do is do it like a puzzle and get the perimeter of the maps done, and then we won't worry about the middle part, because most of the middle part of the island is generated anyway. There's only a few little spots we have to generate. So once the outer maps are done, then we're probably safe to update to the snapshots, and then we have a nice kind of border saying this is where you can go and do not go kind of beyond the maps, unless you're already kind of off in your own little world. But yeah, what I learned is that when you create a map, before, when I was making those maps, I was kind of made sure I was in the middle of 4 chunks to try to center it around these 4 chunks, but it doesn't actually work that way. I can't remember if, I think this changed actually a long time ago. I think originally maps would generate centered around you, but I think during one of the recent one of the updates, 1.5 or maybe in 1.4, I don't know, or 1.6, I think it started locking in the smallest maps. So basically, it doesn't matter where in this area I make a map, it's going to center around those 8 by 8 chunks. So if I go to the edge and make a map here, it's going to do the same thing. So yeah, this is one map, so if I make it again, we can see it's still the same area as this one. However, if I go just over here and make it, it's over on this side. So the smallest maps, it seemed, tile forcibly. So you can't really get an overlap with the smallest maps. Now if I scaled up these 2 maps, then I would get some overlap. But yeah, so that's interesting. So I was trying to, find the exact 4 chunks that I thought the map was going to center around, where in fact it's going to center around the 8 chunks, and I'm pretty sure it's just multiples of 8 counted off from, what do you call it, 0, 0? Or are we at 0, 0? Okay, this is 0, 0. So if we go to like this guy, let's go to the center of this one. This should be, now what I'm looking at is like the X value. Right now it's C, -5, -6, -7, -8. And then we would want to go all the way to the edge of -8 to -9. So right here, unfortunately I don't have the pattern going out this far, but right here basically is the chunk border. So this one centers around those 8 chunks. So if we keep going out like 1,000 blocks or whatever, those are still going to be multiples of 8. So we can figure out kind of the center chunks just based on the coordinates, or not even the coordinates, just the C values at the very end to the right of there. We can basically figure out where the map's going to center just based on multiples of 8. And then as long as you're within those 8, the largest maps should stitch together if you do them properly, if you space them far enough out apart. So for example, when I made these, most of the time I was not in the center of the map. When I made the map, I was always off center, I think usually up to the top left corner, I think. So I consistently made my maps in the same area, 128 chunks apart, but it just centered around the 8x8 in that area, so I didn't have to be as precise. So here you can kind of see this dot here is pointing to spawn because I threw some maps up at spawn as well, these 3 maps. So 1 dot's pointing to where these maps are, which is at the tower, and 1 dot's pointing to spawn where those maps are. So you can see where spawn is kind of relative to this. It's basically, if you drew a line straight up with this imaginary line, and then an imaginary line, I guess we don't have the exact angle. It looks like it's 45 degrees based that it's in the corner. So if you did like a 45-degree angle, it would be where those two connect. So spawn is somewhere around that cursor. Alright, we wasted a ton of time. I did this. So I showed you what I had over there. So I did something completely different over here. I'm trying to use vines just because I hate the ladder. I'm hoping the vines would grow around, but I'm also worried when they do grow around, I think their hitbox changes. So if that guy grows around the corner, I think I can hit the bottom of the vine, which means this won't work because I won't be able to actually get up to the string to the point where the vines will hold me up. So I might have to change it back to ladders, but yeah, I was just hoping it would grow around so it'd be more symmetrical. So I don't like it like that. I don't like it. I don't like it. So yeah, here I still did the diagonal stair thing. Here I just went with stone and then I threw in some clay. I kind of like it, but I don't like it fitting, like it doesn't fit. If I look here, that's just, it sticks out too much, I feel. So, kind of cool, but yeah, I don't really like it. And it just does the same thing. Just keeps going up, repeats. It does 2 dark, or 2 cyan, and then 2 red, and then I stopped up there. And this is kind of the exit. I put this one right here in the corner of the stair, and so far this is all I've done is the 2 floors. And then I kept that look, and I think I made that look over there as well, because I thought that was a decent look for it, so that's kind of what I went with. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of that, and maybe we can think of something in between these 2 and the other one I just did, or the one I showed you before, and we'll find something that we like, and then we can mass produce it. Alright. I want to get our sugarcane farm up and running, so I would... Oh, here comes some items. Piece of redstone from a witch. Let's get some dirt, and let's get some glass, maybe? Yeah. I'm going to try using glass wherever I'm going to have water so that I know that there's water above the block, even though you do get the triplets. But then I can also use glass in the sides, hopefully, maybe. I don't know where I'm going, guys. I want to go up. Oh, I should also. I want to do an experiment with this cow farm. We are throwing cows all over the place. And, yeah. So every time I run this thing, certain baby calves get thrown into the air. And I think they're just glitching through because there's nowhere for them to get out. I thought they were shooting out the top. So I put this slab up here to prevent anything from being able to fit through. But they still just get ejected. So it's kind of funny. Like that guy, and there's some down in the water. I'm sure a lot of them die too. I don't know how many get spat out. But I think we'll create like a glass container around it, so that any cow that does get thrown out should end up in the hollow space within the farm. Shut up! Whew. So our sugarcane farm is going here. And we got to figure out where we want the lowest level, I guess. And then we figure out how many do we want. I think I'm just doing a single tower. Straight up. The farm I'm going to be using is the same one in my single player world. And I actually have a tutorial on it. It should be in my tutorial playlist, I do believe. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Should be in my tutorial playlist. It's pretty old, but it's still a valid farm, I believe. So I'm going to do it. It's all budded. Each sugarcane has a bud, and it gets pistoned off anytime it grows once. So we monitor it at its second level. And once it grows to its second level, the whole row gets chopped. So we're basically chopping the sugarcane as quickly as we can from when it grows. So it should be it's a really efficient farm. It's just heavy materials and not huge on yield because it's a fairly small scale on the grand scheme of things in terms of how many sugarcane there are overall, I guess. But because they're getting chopped off almost immediately, it's still more efficient than just, say, having a farm that you harvest every once in a while when it's full. Yeah, something like that. So the plan was to have storage underneath, so we're going to do that. So we've got to figure out what height we want this thing to be at. And I haven't done much up here yet because I can't really envision what I want it to look like yet, so I'm kind of waiting. But I think if I get some farms in place and at least the redstone aspect, and then once we start trying to decorate the farms, I think it'll all come together. So that one I laid out, but I laid out wrong. And what was the height of that one set at? Pretty much where it was. So maybe we'll do the same thing. Where these strips of dirt are at, they will be the first layer. Let me lay out a bunch of these guys because we're getting kind of short on time. So I will probably do it to about here. Yeah, and I got to do some kind of thinking. And thinking and talking and moving don't go together. Okay, laid out, I think, what we're going to go with. So what this represents, each row of these is where there's going to be sugarcane. Now I actually went with 2 modules, I guess. So the one in my single player is 3 of these guys. But I think it's also a lot taller. So I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. Layer. I was going to say levels, then I went to layers, and I'm sorry. There's 8 altogether, I guess, in terms of floors per module, and I consider this to be a module. So this would be 2 modules with 8 floors altogether. So yeah, the one in my single player is 3 wide, but then I don't know how many floors it has. I think it has 6 maybe, or 7. So we're not going to have that much here. But that's okay. I don't need one as big as that one. I don't even think I need one as big as this one, but we're going to do it anyway. Now, I'm going to have to start at the top, and we're not going to get this done today, but I might get it started or show you what I'm going to be doing. So water will go on this side. So that is where I want to try to get the glass. Now, do I have any redstone on? No, I don't. And yeah, the spacing I need per floor is 5. So there's a 5 gap, and there's basically a platform every 6th. So that's to make room for the sugarcane itself, a space for the sugarcane to grow, a piston, and then a block, and then redstone, and then it repeats, I think. Okay, yeah, that should work. Now I might have to push these all forward one. I'm not sure if I have enough space here to do the redstone. It's going to be really, really close. Actually, I'm positive I do not have enough room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the top floor. I'll lay out some pistons and stuff like that, and figure out how much space I actually need, because that's going to push the machine forward. The growing space of these is 12, so each row can have like 12 sugarcane on it, and I might have to push that forward. But if I push it forward anymore, we're going to start kind of infringing into this center area. But since we haven't really set in stone what this is going to look like, I don't think it'll be a problem. So if we choose to, I think we could just wipe out the floor here and anywhere in between, and then just have the machine itself kind of be its arch underneath, so to speak. Right, so one layer is done. Very top layer of one of the modules, let's say. And this is what's going to look like. Oops, at least functionally. Where am I? It's not a torch. So what this does is anytime, let's say that guy grows, it breaks. I think that needs 3 ticks. Oh yeah, that one has 3 ticks. Okay, let's try that again. So anytime any of them grow, they instantly get chopped. And if 2 happen to grow at the same time, they both get chopped. So this is a very efficient way of doing it. It is very resource intensive, like I said, though. So it's, although it is very efficient, it's not necessarily the most practical. Because in order to get the same amount of yield from this guy as like a large, just manual farm, it would have to be very, very, very big. And we're not going to do that. We're just going to go for a little trickle charge. So anytime, I don't know how many of these we'll have by the end of it, but it should produce decent enough. So why don't we build one of them together? So yeah, this is one. And I think what we'll do is, I did have to push it forward. Like I said, 2 blocks. I also had to rip out this tree farm. So we'll probably end up putting this a little bit higher maybe. At least 1 more block is all we need. So let's go ahead and do its partner over here. And let me just get the spacing. Alright, and we're going to need blocks. Wow, 32 blocks? That's not going to be enough. Aha! We have more! We can do this. There we go. There we go. I do not have much sugarcane. That's all my sugarcane. I've turned so much of it into... Oh, it's sugarcane. Thought I saw a creeper. I've turned so much of it into paper to do those maps and stuff that I just don't have any left. Okay, so what I need to do is... Let's see here. Let's get to the end. We'll do the pistons first, assuming I have enough of those. 13? Nope. I now have enough pistons. Okay, so pistons go at a height of, right there, right? So we get rid of all that, and we put down a total of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Oh, by chain. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that should bring us to this guy. Yep, that's right. And then we do the same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. Gotta stand like just barely where you can't reach it and where you can't. Okay. Right. Then there's space of 2. And then the next piston goes right there. What we're going to do is put down a furnace. Put down a furnace. And the furnace is there to, you can use obsidian or anything that can't be pushed by a piston. Because sometimes these pistons, like this guy, can push up to 12 blocks. So sometimes if he's pushed forward, or I can't remember, if push forward gets powered, something happens. It is possible for it to push this piston forward. So we don't want that to happen. Okay, we're not going to use dirt. I'll use dirt for sketching. Okay, so there'll be that. It's going to be a block there. And right there. No, is that right? Yeah, that's right. No, it's wrong, guys. It's wrong. Well, I guess technically that is okay. We are going to sneeze. Sorry. That will be edited out, I hope. There we go. Torch is there. These ones here, we're going to be part of a torch tower so that we can turn them off. We don't actually need these blocks here for right now. Only go with crucial blocks. So we will need a block here, maybe. Well, we're going to create a platform here just for us to stand on. And let's put a torch. Okay, good, good. And we're going to do the same on the sides. I guess I could have just left those blocks there, to be honest. Okay. So, from that torch, so what happens is the block's default position is right there. Every time it goes over here, it's going to power this block, and we're going to take a redstone signal off of it. The next thing I want to do is put down... Oh, there goes the other one. It's already working. Fortunately, it's not being collected anywhere, so I'll have to do something about that. And I'm going to have to add in some other things to make sure they go all the way down, that they don't get caught on like ledges and such. Okay, so here we're going to put some more pistons facing inside. These are the ones that shot the sugarcane. These ones up here are they get butted, so they get power locked. And they're the ones that detect the growth of the sugarcane. Okay, so if we get that, and put another row. And there should be exactly one space between this guy and that guy, so the redstone won't be touching, so that works out great. And it's an odd number, so that works out great, so it goes in the middle of the tower. Okay, so all these ones need blocks on top of to be powered. And we're going to have to wipe out some more stuff. Out of my way, please. That was temporary anyway. The 5th temporary tree farm. Okay, but Coco's actually started up a tree farm. Or a tree store, I guess. So he will be selling... he'll be selling logs of such. Different wooded nature. So, if we want to, if we need to, we can buy some wood off of him. Instead of having to harvest ourselves. Which could be nice and save us some time. Alright, so that one gets powered there. And these ones get powered. That one's a little bit tricky. We're going to put blocks here to power all these guys across. And then I need to get a block one lower, which is not going to be as easy. I think I have to go down here. I need a block there. And I'm going to want that in the same over here. Can I do it yet? I can't, but maybe I'll just put that there to give me something. Aw, my ankles. Woo! Made one sugarcane. Okay, there we go. So I need to put redstone there and then all the way along. And then we put a block on top. We put redstone here. Now this one's going to be tricky. I have to do a little bit something different over there. So I'm probably going to base it off that one, because this side's going to be changed a bit. But if I do it over here, it becomes a little easier. I'm going to run out of blocks. Do I have more? I do. Okay. So again, blocks on the side. And then a redstone all the way. And redstone down there, and then a block on top of it. And then, what do we want? And then I believe we do, where are my repeaters? Okay, repeater there. And how did I do this one? Okay, so we can look here how I had to do this one. So that one went, oh right, there, and then we just brought it, okay, that won't happen in a second there. That's kind of funny. Okay, we can put that back. Okay, so that gets powered, it goes around here. We want that on 3 ticks. So I could do the same thing right here. And I didn't have to do this on the other side, so I'm pretty sure a lot of this stuff is going to be gone. And then that's supposed to be our repeater. Okay, now we take torches, and a block on top of that, and a block on top of that, and then we need a half slab to go here. You want this to be a half slab, otherwise it can bud that guy and it kind of messes it up, and I think it turns it into a clock, if I remember correctly. I originally built this very early on in my LP series. So these guys are budded, they're power locked budded, so what that means is they're currently got power on them, but they're not extended. But as soon as you update one of them, if we update him, he will fire because he goes, oh, I'm supposed to be extended. So he does, he pushes the block over here that says turn on, and the timing here is important. So you want this to go first. So it goes down here, it does 2 things, it powers these guys, and then it also goes up here to unpower this guy so that they'll retract. So they extended for the update, now we want them to retract, and then after they've retracted, this will have fired to push everything back, and then while this piston arm is still extended, it's pretty much blocking it, so these guys have nowhere to go. So they're going to try to push again. They're going to get powered, but they can't go anywhere. So they're going to stay that way, and then now they're ready to be triggered again. So if that made any sense, hopefully. But probably, maybe not. Alright, the next step will be adding the water. So I did it all in glass, and I think I'm going to, I like that. I didn't do it last time I built it, but I like the idea of encasing the water like that. That way, because in the other one I've broke through into water so many times by accident because I wasn't quite sure where it was. So this way it'll be nice and clear. This part's a little tricky, so let me just do it. I'm just going to put the glass, the water, and then a layer of glowstone. Alright, nearly done. Just encasing this last one. Okay, good. Let's get up. And I'm just going to use ice for simplicity. And we have enough of it. And, oops, I think most things down there are filled up. Like in the chasm that we need to ice. So there's not much more ice I think we need there. Okay. Since it's kind of nice that it doesn't break glass as quickly as it used to. Glass isn't as, like, delicate. But it would be nice if there was a tool that did allow you to break glass quickly. Okay, for this, I'm just going to go overboard with glowstone because I can, because we have lots of it. So I'm just going to line the whole thing with glowstone, even though I don't really need to. This will prevent mobs from spawning, because mobs can spawn on sugarcane. So this will keep it nice and lit up, so they won't be able to. Sugarcane itself doesn't require any light, but yeah, it's just so I don't get mobs in there. And it should also help, because it'll bleed through those pistons, and it should help light up the redstone as well. Hopefully, make it a little less laggy. And depending on how laggy this thing does become, will depend on how much of it I have on or running. Maybe we won't even have it running at all. It'll be too laggy. But that is it, guys. So now that you've seen how this is going to be built, I'll probably build the rest of the redstone off camera. And then we'll look at kind of prettying it up. And I think once we choose what kind of blocks and stuff we want to use, we'll have a better idea on what this area here is going to look like. But already you can kind of get an idea. So I don't know if we want to keep it all glass and very clear, or if we want to enclose it in like in my single player world, if you watch that one and are familiar with what that looks like. So yeah, you can see the sugarcane's falling. It is landing on other ledges and stuff as well, though. Oops, yeah, that one's glitching out. But there'll be glass panes when we're all said and done, so the pistons, it'll hit the glass panes, and the sugarcane will fall straight down. And it collects majority of it. I guess it's not 100% efficient, because I do believe some of the sugarcane occasionally does not fall where it's supposed to fall, so it ends up just despawning. Excellent, guys. Well, that'll do for today. Hope you've enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next episode.